So what is the Reset Challenge all about? Well, it's a 28-day journey which starts with resetting our mind and what we do with our thoughts to prepare the foundation. Because in the next session, we will investigate in a little more depth that every thought that we have, and there's 2,000 to 3,500 per hour, yes, per hour, and each thought always ends with an outcome or a result. But more on that tomorrow. The reset section also helps you identify what your passion, what your purpose is. What is it that you dream about? And my guess is that since the habit or addiction has been prevalent or gotten worse, you've probably stopped dreaming as you've just had to focus on getting through the next day, to the weekend, to the next paycheck, to the next holiday. Why is this important though? Because we need to begin with the end in mind and look out at what the outcome is that we want to achieve as that level 1 outcome. Because that outcome might be to find freedom from addiction. But this outcome will be so much easier if we have a much bigger outcome of achieving our dream. Because then finding freedom from addiction just becomes a part of the journey and not the end destination. Secondly, the recover section is all about recovering from the pain or suffering and shame and other issues which have caused us and you to self-soothe in the first place. A few years ago I went to the dentist, and I hate going to the dentist with a passion. And I was told I needed a root canal as the filling was just too big, and I questioned her for quite a while, saying, "Are you sure you need this? Can't you just put another filling in?" But she was insistent, so I sat in the chair and asked for as much anaesthetic as possible. As I said, I'm a bit of a wimp when it comes to pain, and after much drilling and other horrible stuff, the root was taken out and a dressing put in place, and I was sent home and asked to come back the next week for the post to be put in. And as I lay back on the chair, she got the drill out, and I was there screaming, "Oh, hello, have you forgotten the anaesthetic? Have you forgotten how much I hate pain?" To which she just casually replied, "Well, now that the root canal and the nerve endings have gone, there's no need for anaesthetic." Why am I telling you this? Because the recover section of the 28-day reset challenge is about getting to that root cause of the pain and then fixing it at source. Another way of looking at it is if you can imagine being in a hospital, perhaps you've got a shrapnel wound, and every time the doctor starts digging around with a scalpel, ow, it hurts. So you tell them just to put a dressing on it and be done with it. But the doctor continues digging around with his metal shrapnel, and you wince with pain and tell them to stop. But instead they reach out, get a pair of forceps, pull out that offending object. And at this point you plead to the doctor just to sew you up and be done with it. But he keeps digging around and finding some other bits of shrapnel until he's satisfied that everything is out. And then he stitches you up, puts on a dressing, and the wound heals beautifully. You'd hardly know anything's happened apart from the fact that you no longer complain of pain or discomfort, and you no longer need to find something, read habit or addiction of choice, to soothe the pain. So this recover section is about stopping the need to use ever again. Does that sound good? Thirdly, the restore section is all about restoring relationships with ourselves and others. Often the hardest person we find to forgive and restore is with ourselves. We've often spent so many years beating ourselves up over failed attempts at stopping our destructive habit or addiction. We've failed attempts at being more attentive or present with a partner or children that we can find it hard to think of forgiving ourselves. But this is absolutely vital. Don't panic though. We will be guiding you through this every step of the way. And as you progress through this section, you should hopefully be able to start seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. And fourthly, the reimagined section is the most exciting. We'll revisit your passion and purpose to start visualizing things in 4K ultra high definition color, spending time looking at what the next steps might look like. And generally getting excited and passionate about life again, knowing that the dark days of secret destructive habits or addictions are now behind us. And this is the time to reimagine new possibilities. Does that sound good?